Hey, how's it going, and welcome back to the vlog. So today, if you're a Star Wars fan, we're going to be looking at something very cool. I've never owned an air hose product, so I'm not sure what I'm going to get, but let's take a look at it. So here you go, guys. It's the Star Wars Air Hogs, or it's the Air Hog Star Wars Speederbike Quadcopter. And this is bigger than I've ever had all the other things I've had to review. So I'm having trouble keeping everything in the frame because I got it on my counter and I need to set up a studio. But anyway, very cool looking quadcopter, especially for guys who are into Star Wars. I'm pretty sure you like the look of this thing. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but this definitely got my attention. And I've never owned any Air Hogs RC or any Air Hogs devices. I've seen them online. I don't know how well they work, but I actually did a search for this one, and I came across some other Air Hogs Star Wars aircrafts, and they had one that looked like a fighter with a duct in the middle. And these guys were throwing this thing over and over and over again, and it would not stay in the air. And I don't know the pilot's skill level, but it just seemed like they were having a hard time keeping it in the air, and it may have been because it was underpowered, to be honest with you. Sometimes when you buy these toy grade devices like the Air Hogs, they just don't put enough power to them. And in fact, on this one, doing some research, it said that it had a 400 milliamp battery inside of it. I got quadcopter small on this that have 500 milliamp batteries in it, so they could have done better on the battery, in my opinion. To give you a little bit more flight times because of the size, and even though it's very, very light, I'm thinking that battery's just not enough for it. So that's the only thing that I find a little bit odd is the size of the battery. Now, on the bottom you have two ultrasonic sensors, and those ultrasonic sensors are supposed to be used to, I guess, lock in an altitude. It has on the controller, it has an altitude hold feature where if you turn this on, it takes out the throttle response of increasing the altitude, and you have to hit these buttons to raise and lower the altitude. So no matter what you do here, it won't work. But these get the altitude locked in. So if you're trying to keep it, what you're trying to do is give you the ability to keep it low to the ground without having altitude fluctuations in altitude. But the only thing is, it only worked maybe on the first try, and then I recharged it up and went out again and tried to turn on the altitude hold, and it stopped working. So I'm thinking the ultrasonic sensors in this thing died on me, or at least one of them died. When I turn on the altitude hold, it will immediately drop to the ground and try to lift off, but it won't. It won't do it. And as soon as I turn the altitude hold off, it shoots up in the air. So downside is, again, this is an Air Hogs toy. Ultrasonic sensors may be a little bit more technical than any other Air Hogs toy have in it, and they might have picked cheaper products to put in it, and it didn't work. But if you know how to pilot this thing, you could definitely keep it low to the ground without hitting anything. But again, back to the downside about that is this actually has this feature which is called jump. Don't know how well that works, and I have another one of these. I just don't want to open it up and take it out of the box because these were for the giveaway. But what happens is once you get this locked in and it's about 2 feet off the ground, I guess they wanted to give you the option to jump over any obstacle that may be in your way, a log or something, or do some kind of stunt or trick with it by flying it 2 feet off the ground and then hitting the jump button to go over top of that obstacle. So I haven't even been able to test that because the altitude hold doesn't work, and if you don't have the altitude hold on, the jump button doesn't work. So that's the only downside I found about this so far. I mean, well, it's not the only downside, but the others aren't that bad of a negative. Another negative for me is that this thing actually takes 6 AA batteries. So it would have been nice if it had a lithium battery in it. But if you like it, you might want to go out and invest in some rechargeable batteries because 6 of these is a lot. I mean, 4 maybe, but 6. I mean, again, just seems a little bit odd that it has so many batteries in it to me. But last thing that stood out as odd to me, and not a big deal, but again, so to charge this, you have to take a USB cord, plug it into a computer or a plug like you would charge your phone, and then plug it into the bottom of this device here, into the bottom of the controller, into the USB port. And then you have a cable here that comes out of this and plugs into the bottom of the Speederbike. So that means you have to have both devices. I guess this has to have maybe some power to it. I mean, it might have to have batteries in it to complete the connection, or maybe it doesn't. But that means that the actual, I guess, battery charger device is built into the controller. Um, so I'm not sure why you can't direct charge the Speederbike. You have to charge it through the controller. Seems a little bit odd to me. Not sure why they didn't just, you can plug this into a cell phone or computer, put the voltage regulator or whatever charging device into the quadcopter itself, and then you can plug right directly into the Speederbike and charge it up. So, I mean, yeah, air hogs, again, not hobby grade. I'm not used to seeing something like this. Usually hobby grade stuff has features like that where you can charge it independently, but for air hogs, they just didn't do it. So let's go out and take some fly arounds with this thing, see how it flies, get some video of it. I've done some initial testing like I always do in my living room to kind of see what the trims are like, and without any environmental effects, how it floats around, to see if it's going to get away from me or if the gyros actually work the way they're supposed to. And it did well indoors, but I'm interested in getting outdoors and getting some speed behind it, so let's do that. Because it's a little bit cold out here, if I can see my breath. But 400 milliamp seems to be a little bit light anyway. Usually you get about, on the device this big or quad this big with a 400 milliamp battery, usually you get at least a 500 milliamp battery in it with something smaller. So that might be a modification that's worth doing, buying yourself a little 500 milliamp battery, putting it in and getting a little bit more life out of it, a little bit more flight out of it. So let's get on the ground, get it fired up. By the way, once this is bound to the quadcopter, this is armed. You don't have to do the initialization arming that you do with most quadcopters. It's armed, so be careful when you bind it not to hit that up thinking you're going to arm it. It's already armed. So and another thing is this jump button doesn't work either because the altitude hold doesn't work. So let's get it flying. Trim pretty good. I'm trying to keep it in close. Gonna do a couple passes. Another thing about the throttle is once you get it down like past halfway, it feels like it shuts off. It seems like it shuts off a little bit early, like not at the bottom, almost to the bottom it shuts it off. So you got to be careful with the throttle, not to bring it all the way to the bottom or it will shut it off. I'm being a little bit conservative because I don't want to get close to that tree on my left side and get caught in the tree. In fact, let me just move over a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And it's decent at slow speeds, but it seems like once it gets up speed, it doesn't want to pull out of the banks. So once I get it going, it doesn't want to really turn, but it will make a slow turn relatively easy. Got a nice little whistle to it. It's not that loud. If you're wondering what's going on here, I'm trying to fly it like I would fly any other quadcopter, but it just doesn't want to make these counterclockwise turns. So I'm behind on the rudder, and it always sends it straight at me. So I think I'll start doing clockwise turns to see how they handle. And the breeze is starting to pick up a little bit, and it's struggling to keep itself in one place. can hear it. You can hear it struggling when I hit those turns. You can hear those motors start to squeal a little bit. I would love to put a little camera in the face of this rider, put a recording camera or an FPV camera, so you get a first-person view. That may be a project that you could do if you got one of these. Put a battery in it and then put a camera in it, so you can get a first-person view of this thing kind of speeding around. See, I got to really go hard on the counterclockwise turns, or else it doesn't want to turn around. Oh, it totally lost. It totally lost. And that forward flight, I literally tried to fly it forward, and it felt like it was losing the tail rudder. It was swinging out. So there are some aerodynamics that are probably with the little fins on the front. There are probably some aerodynamic issues that are keeping this thing from flying like a normal quadcopter. Those little devices on the front. Get away from me. Got it too close, the wind's pushing it to me. Those little devices on the front are probably like fins that almost ended in some dog crap. Those little devices on the front are probably like fins that kind of also hinder its performance, because they pretty much might act like rudders, and when you're trying to fly it straight or bank it, once you straighten it out. But it flies pretty good. I just lost the battery, by the way. I didn't land it. It just lost the battery. And as you can see, if you can see on the bottom there, that little green, that red light is now flashing green, which means it needs to be recharged. So nice job there, Hawks. I think you got a good one with this one, especially for the Star Wars fans. I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely. I mean, it was $65 though. It's something that, you know, could be cool to have up on the mantle as a cool little Star Wars memorabilia thing. Something that may actually even be worth money if you keep it in the box long enough. But I thought it was a pretty cool device. I thought it was a pretty cool quadcopter. I'm into stuff that performs a little bit more, I guess faster, turns a little bit better, but just to get it out there and play with it and be able to kind of imagine yourself flying around a speeder bike is very cool. I liked it. $65 was cool. I mean, I'm pretty sure now the price may be dropping pretty soon. It's been out for a little bit of time now. For me to get mine, I had to wait. I ordered them before Christmas. They came a little bit after Christmas, and I just kind of had them sitting in a box because I've been trying to do all the other reviews. So, yeah. Hopefully you liked it. I mean, if you do, go out and buy one. I mean, they're at Walmart. You can go pick one up off the shelf. It's not something that you have to go and really order. And if you don't like it, you can take it back. I mean, that's why I use Amazon Prime. But I hope you liked the video. And if you do, stay tuned, because I got more coming. And again, this is one of the giveaways, guys. So what you have to do is just subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on this video. And when I give away this product, I will pick somebody from the people who left a comment on this video, and not the whole pool of people who may have subscribed. So it increases your chances of winning one. If you're giving away, I don't know, 3 or 4 quadcopters already. Let's say, no, I'm giving away 3 on Amazon and 2 on YouTube. And it's going good. You know, I'll make it a challenge next time, though. But thanks for watching, and I appreciate your support. I will be back soon with more reviews, so stay tuned. Bye.